Some analogies reinforce the nature of timism as a periodic table of existence. Our schools of knowledge and social institutions rose distantly apart like towers of Babel. The intellectual inhabitants of these ivory towers don't talk the same language about the same thing. Timism provides a reference point by which to unite diverse towers of knowledge. The different levels, ironically and humorously, the biochemical processes of binding, are like jigsaw pieces locking together. What do catalysts and snowflakes share in common with the forces of gravity? The explosion of chemical information and insights after the elucidation of the periodic table of elements will be exceeded by the explosions from elaborating the periodic table of existence, timism. Both existed before discovery by human beings. Of great interest and reinforcement are the many variations of the periodic table of elements. To them will be added timistic variations. A historical analogy a more proportional way than Einstein's relativity is the cosmological earthquake of the 1500s Renaissance. The center of the universe was not a flat earth. The flat earth view of the universe, more than a millennium in age, focused on the work of Ptolemy. In the eyes of the artist, the Almagest was a beautiful view of life, widely embraced by and beneficial to the Catholic Church, the world's only superpower that was run by compassionate conservatives with universal faith-based initiatives and perverted policymakers. With better contemporary technology, for example polished glass, the mathematics of the Ptolemaic system will be strained to account for the celestial findings. Analogous today is the Hawkins view of time. Ptolemy's Almagest will die in the death of 1,000 qualifications. Symbolically and timistically, this self-sustaining solipsism was spinning out of control, like its chief supporter, the Catholic Church, in the face of political spin control that could not stop the revolutions of the Reformation, Luther, Calvin, etc. Likewise, the clarity of timism shows a contemporary political mass straining to maintain a web of deceit in the face of a reality that is independent of human activities. Compare the parsimony of Copernicus' system with the gyrations of Ptolemy. Copernicus' system was readily and quickly documented by the Italian Galileo with a telescope, by which all could personally see except the reticent gas reactors who, instead, required recantations and secrecy. The story is well known of how, confronted with clergy with conflicts of interest, Galileo said that the truth could be seen by simply looking through the telescope. The priest refused and forced Galileo to say what he had seen was not a fact. The secrets of the Church were not to be compromised by facts. The often brutal suppression of dissent within the British administration would sow its seeds of self-destruction under the rays of enlightenment from 1,000 points of light. Never in American history has America had a president so anti-scientific and anti-education as the Yaler who received a gentleman's C, a middle-class F. Presidents for wholesale yes-men in science can only be previously found in Nazi Germany and Stalin's Soviet Union, the Führer, the Supremo, and La Busita. A summary. Despite the leap in understanding by this man in 1905, his understanding of time was parochial and fractured. What else is round that appears every day to be flat? What's wrong with this picture? How is it an example of a glass that is either half full or half empty? Gravity is not what we think it is. What propels this motion really? Time is not a dimension. String theory dies the death of 1,000 qualifications. The Beatles said once there was a way to get back home. Some physicists think that Ptolemy is home. P.S. Where's else time? This is a table bowl with an apple and an orange. Sadly, like Santa Claus, timism says time travel is a dream. Timism integrates loose ends and strands into a circle of understanding, a circle upon which one can stand for travel in either direction at the same time. The circles of time simplifies understanding because, with a timistic perspective, our complex existence is predicated on a few principles. Is the glass half empty or half full? Is our existence going forward or melting down? Timism captures the complexity of existence, which seems like a chaotic garbage dump wanting only gut reactions. But it's really a snowflake, an orchestration of simplicity based on informed choices. Snowflakes are the original cell phones that record the diversity and uniqueness of existence, which rides on the omnipresent sound of gravity. Like important cell phone communication, these transient existential conversations always fade and also often kill human beings. If you feel disjointed in the unity of understanding your existence, Timism offers a clutter cutter for self, morality, immortality, politics, economics, and employment. Conclusions on the periodic table of existence. If Thomas Jefferson, Adam Smith, Louis Pasteur, and Albert Einstein, among others, synthesized their ideas on democracy, capitalism, biology, economics, and physics into a common, universal language, they would discover that they shared Timism. Timism is not a brief history of time, nor a thief history of time, but a chief history of time. Timism is the one ring that can control all the rings of knowledge in our creeping darkness to bring light anew.
Timism could not exist without Einstein's conceptual leap. Timism expands relativity to the whole range of existence. It shows the periodic table of existence based on the Q2 of E equals mc squared comparisons. The latter means the quality and quantity of time is relative to comparing two energy-matter transformations. Despite his stellar lunar brilliance on the intellectual cosmos, Einstein had a mental handicap. He was more Wittgenstein than Hegel in his personal view of the universe. He was more Ptolemaic than Copernican. His open-mindedness and clear vision was clouded by a human-centric disposition rather than fully accepting the cosmos existed independent of mankind. Truth is independent of man knowing the truth. Trees fall and crash without man. Einstein's mental block was his hope for more than the facts of life. We all have intellectual thresholds beyond which we operate on emotional gut reactions. Einstein's threshold was not below grade, but even the greatest scientist of the last century was at a point unscientific. In summary, while my grandmother did not have a pilot's license, I loved her more than all the knowledge I ever had. So it is with Einstein. As I realized Einsteinian's relativity did not fully fly, my love and respect for Einstein was undiminished. P.S. If you don't understand Einstein, please feel fully qualified to disparage your system based on his system. P.S. P.S. Anyone who thinks I am using and berating Einstein can kiss my ass.
Despite his stellar lunar brilliance in the intellectual cosmos, Einstein had a mental handicap. He was more Wittgenstein than Hegel in his personal view of the universe. He was more Ptolemaic than Copernican. His open-mindedness and clear vision was clouded by a human-centric disposition, rather than fully accepting that the cosmos existed independent of mankind. The impact of hidden intellectual foibles or agendas is captured in the following. This is the difference between us Romans and the Etruscans, Seneca wrote. We believe that lightning is caused by clouds colliding, whereas they believe that clouds collide in order to create lightning. Since they attribute everything to gods, they are led to believe not that events have a meaning because they have happened, but that they happen in order to express a meaning. Truth is independent of man knowing the truth. Trees fall and crash without man. Einstein's mental block was his hope for more than the facts of life. We all have intellectual thresholds beyond which we operate on emotional gut reactions. Einstein's threshold was not below grade, but even the greatest scientist of the last century was, at a point, unscientific. As everyone has Einstein moments, Einstein was not Einstein 24/7. In summary, while my grandmother did not have a pilot's license, I loved her more than all the knowledge I ever had. So it is with Einstein. As I realized that Einsteinian relativity did not fully fly, my love and respect for Einstein was undiminished. My plane has no aerodynamics without Einstein. P.S. If you don't understand Einstein, please feel fully qualified to disparage a system based on his systems. P.S. Anyone who thinks I am using and berating Einstein can intimately embrace my buttocks.